with humble obeisances to the eldest son of King Dashrath, Lord Ram. From the wild, wacky, weird world of pandemonium emerges a trilogy, a gift of three stories based on the Adbhut Ramayana. Story number one. Title of the story: The Soliloquy of Queen Kaikeyi. Or, Hence did she banish him into exile. How could Goddess Saraswati, the source of divine wisdom, intellect, and knowledge, ever succumb to the mind maneuvering, malevolent, malicious tales of a mere gossip mongering maid like Manthara? Ludicrous and ridiculous, yet, as Queen Kaikeyi, she could and did. For jolly good reason. No, it was not her love for her son Prince Bharat. Intrigued, curious, interested to know the inner story? Please hear on, listen on. But beware, curiosity killed the proverbial cat. But it's okay. After all, a cat has 9 lives to spare. So hop on. The following story is nowhere written in the original Ramayana. However, I do remember reading it in one of its many versions. So, this is a rehashed imaginary retelling of that tale. Before the advent of Lord Vishnu as King Ram, the script was pre written in the heavens. Different gods and deities too wanted to enact a part in this immortal worldly drama of King Ram. Lord Brahma, with his three wives, Goddess Brahmani, Goddess Gayatri, and Goddess Saraswati, were chosen to be cast as King Dashrath and his three queens, Kausalya, Sumitra, and Kaikeyi, respectively. It was pre-decided that Ram was to go into the jungles where Sita would be kidnapped by the evil Ravan, and eventually Ram would kill Ravan in the ensuing rescue operation. Initially, everything went according to plan. King Dashrath was a benevolent king and was in good health and had plenty of years left to rule as a king before retirement. Prince Ram too was newly married and enjoying domestic bliss. According to one version of the script, the public of Ayodhya were to demand Prince Ram's coronation as king. Much like modern monarchs not wishing to abdicate, Dashrath was to send Rama into exile, where Ravan would then try to kidnap Sita and be killed immediately. However, in his worldly role as King Dashrath, as Ram's doting father, Lord Brahma forgot the original script and instead, in a sudden, hasty whim of filial love, decided to abdicate as king. Overnight, blatantly deviating from the divine preordained script, King Dashrath publicly announced the coronation of Prince Ram at early dawn the very next day. On hearing that their demand of making Ram the king having been so easily and preemptively met, the whole city of Ayodhya, much before the actual event, went joyously crazy in anticipation of Ram's coronation. Caught off guard by this sudden turn of events, the dozing heavenly pullers and the other gods in heaven were aghast. There was now no chance of Ram going into exile and fulfilling his life mission of killing Ravan. Time was running out. Script options were limited. Something had to be done to change the course of events urgently. It was a state of emergency for the gods. Overnight, on the eve before the coronation, the subtle causal bodies of King Dashrath, that is, Lord Brahma, Queen Kausalya, Goddess Brahmani, Queen Sumitra, who was Goddess Gayatri, and Queen Kaikeyi, who was Goddess Saraswati, was summoned to the heavenly backstage directorial room of Vidhilikit also known as Mr. Ordained Matrix. Chaotic, cacophonic confusion prevailed. All the main actors were acting differently from the given script, and that too on stage before a live audience. Things were going out of the hands of Lady Destiny, the original scriptwriter. Explanations were demanded. Multiple rectifications by inserting seemingly logical subplots had to be made urgently to salvage a script gone haywire. And all this before daybreak at dawn. Lord Brahma, now in the physical form as King Dashrath, flatly refused to conform to the script and banish Ram. He did not care for any drama director. His love for Ram was so immense and intense that he would break all the universal laws to see him coronated. As it is, things had gone out of hand. The coronation was scheduled for the very next day, and there was no logical or rational reason for Dashrath to do a volte-face or sudden turnaround and banish Ram into exile. Goddess Brahmani as Queen Kausalya, the womb mother of Prince Ram, was so filled with joy that she had no reason nor any opportunity to ask for or seek Ram's banishment. Goddess Gayatri as Queen Sumitra was now the next choice. Maybe she could manipulate events and force King Dashrath. The script past tracks record keeper, Mr. Chitragupt, was summoned. Was there any event, any occasion in the past that would allow Queen Sumitra to do some last minute salvaging of the script? Alas, there was none. Ever the dutiful wife and the doting mother, Queen Sumitra, refused to commit any thought or deed, even if it be only an act or role which would hurt either King Dashrath or Ram. Both were very dear to her. Sumitra was loving to a fault. Unconditional love, sacrifice, and duty were her forte, but of villainous nature, not the slightest cue had she. She would gladly let her Lakshman and Shatrughna suffer than even think of hurting Ram. All glances now turned in despair towards Goddess Saraswati incarnated as Queen Kaikeyi. Perhaps a wild card, a stray boon, something in her past would come in handy to rescue the gods. The stakes were high. But would she, as Kaikeyi, be part of such a devious scheme? Would she, as Kaikeyi, agree to eternal damnation, ridicule, and insult and humiliation?